Hi, Charlotte. How we doing? It's good to see so many familiar faces. Obviously, yes, I was born and raised here. Show of hands, who's not local to Charlotte? Wow. Well, welcome to the time of year where we get multiple seasons in one day. That's the beautiful part of Charlotte fall. Now, I don't know if anyone else relates to this. It could very much just be me, and my parents are in the audience, and they're probably like, yeah, no, it's just you, Caten. But when somebody tells me to do something a certain way, this is the one way to be successful, it's a pretty surefire way to ensure that I'm not going to be doing that thing. Anyone else relate to that? Okay, good, I'm not alone. So when I first got into real estate, I was 22. I had just graduated college with a marketing degree. And I was with a firm prior to EXP, and their coaching program was great. But it very much revolved around, in order to be successful, you're going to need to spend the majority of your day on the phone and door knocking and going to Birkdale, which if you don't know what Birkdale is like an outdoor mall, passing out flyers. And let me be clear. I think any lead generation method works if you work it. So I'm not knocking any of these lead generation methods. But I was 22 looking at a potential 40-year career ahead of me, and that's not the foundation I wanted to build my business on. So I turned to what I knew, which was social media, and I said, I'm gonna figure this out. So it's been a lot of trial and error, and I'm hoping that today I can help shorten your learning curve so that you guys can generate leads on social media as well, and turn your social media into a lead generation machine. So I have this slide up here for those of you who are a little skeptical that one of your favorite social media platforms can also help you generate business. I'm not going to go through all of these, but these are direct messages that I get on a pretty regular basis of people reaching out for buying and selling services. I do want to highlight this one in the middle that says, I can't wait to buy a house and have you as my agent because you obviously know your stuff and are so knowledgeable. You stick out to me so much compared to others. I love your content recently. Now this is the goal. This is the goal, to have cold leads like this landing in your DMs. I didn't know this person. I did end up selling them a house, and now we've actually become friends, but they were watching my content and they wanted to work with me. And I don't know what the stat is these days. If the average person knows X amount of real estate agents, we'll call it 3. But this ensures that when they're ready to buy or sell, I'm the only person that they're gonna think of. If you're still not convinced, then I want to show you these numbers. 4.5 billion people are the amount of users that use social media platforms. They're spending an average of 2 hours and 25 minutes on these platforms. So if you're doing the math, yes, that is over half of the world's population that is spending 2 hours and 25 minutes on social media platforms every single day. So if you've convinced yourself that you can't generate leads on Instagram or your social media of choice, I would challenge you to think again. So I'm gonna walk you guys through some of my basic strategies, and then I'm gonna show you a flow that I use on every single post. So Daniela did a beautiful job of talking about identifying your audience. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the left side of this, but there is something that I do wanna tell you guys. You don't need a large following. In fact, I would venture to say that I got more leads more often when I had a smaller following than I do now. So that's one of the biggest objections I get when I'm coaching agents on building social media platforms. You don't need a lot of followers. If you take 1% of the followers that you have right now, could that change your business? I bet it could. What you do need to focus on is building your community. The reason that I get these DMs is because I've built a community, and people show up and they feel comfortable and they connect with me. So it's important to build your community. I think a lot of us probably have, at least in business, we know who our ideal client is. You work with a lot of first-time home buyers. You work with relocation buyers. You work with clients who are wanting a new home, a new construction home. But what you need to do is then take that to social media. So these are the questions that I like to ask people. Who do you actually want to work with? As agents, we have a lot of dream clients. We also have a lot of clients who are not so dreamy, and we question if we still want to be in real estate anymore. So think about those clients that you do love working with. Maybe you didn't know them before, but now you're like, I want to hang out with you every single day after we close this house. What do they have in common? What are the main challenges that they're facing? A first-time homebuyer is going to have different challenges than somebody who's relocating here from California and buying their second or third home. And once you identify those challenges, it also gives you the basis of your content. What do they need from you? How can you help? Again, a first-time homebuyer is going to need a lot more hand-holding, and they're going to need you to take them through the process. What is due diligence? What is earnest money? You have to explain that. For California buyers, you might also have to explain what due diligence is. But they're going to need different things. So how can you show up and provide those resources, which you probably already are in your business, online? And then what are these people passionate about outside of business? I think this is the most important thing. People do business with you because they want to do business with you. They don't care what brokerage you're with. They don't care about your logo. They connect with you, and so they want to do business with you. So when you think about what these people are passionate about, how do those align with your passions, and how can you relate to them? Now, building your community. What's your story? What makes you different? Phil talked a lot yesterday about your unique value proposition, and that's great. But what makes you different as a human? How can people connect to you? Everyone's got different experiences. You might have had a different career before real estate. Everyone has different experiences. Let's leave it at that. So what makes you different? What are the things that push you? Your why? These should be vulnerable, and these should be a little bit polarizing, because that's what attracts people to you. Share your lifestyle and interests. Maybe you are a foodie in your city, and you know all of the best restaurants and breweries. Share them. Maybe you are an avid hiker, and you know all of the best hikes within the 2-hour radius of your city. Share it. One of my favorite ways to approach this, and I think it's one of the most simple ways I've ever heard, is called the 5-pillar method. So if you couldn't talk about real estate, what 5 categories would you talk about? For me, when you go on my social media, you're gonna see me talk a lot about my family and my dogs. You're gonna see me talk about travel. I love to travel. You're gonna see me talk about home decor and sharing all of my Amazon finds. What are those things for you? Share them so people can connect with you. Yes, real estate is going to be part of your Instagram strategy, but that's not what makes you, you. And again, be relatable and raw. That's what brings people to you. And then naturally, you're gonna be the authority and the expert when you're starting to share this real estate stuff. So, in order to do this, you do have to show up a little bit differently on Instagram. You want to optimize your profile. Social media networks are being used as search engines. So you'll see the 2 boxes that are outlined on my handle, which is what follows the @ sign, and then my name, which is the bold field right under your profile picture. Those are searchable items, and it's very, very important that you set these up correctly. The handle, I highly recommend it be your name. If your name's taken, which mine was somehow taken, there's another Caten Murphy in this world, you can add its, or hey, hi, underscore. But don't do like Sunny Realtor 123. People can't find you that way. And then most importantly, this name field, it needs to have your first and last name. No questions asked, and I highly recommend the area you serve plus realtor or real estate agent. Because when you type in Charlotte, North Carolina Realtor or Charlotte Realtor, I, alongside many of you, will pop up. And as people are doing their scrolling, they're trying to figure out what agent they want to work with, they now have all of these options right here, whereas I wouldn't have shown up otherwise. Your profile picture. I love your dog and I love your logo, but it's not meant to be in the profile picture. It needs to clearly show your face. Include your location. We've already covered this, but if you serve multiple areas, you might not be able to fit it all in that bold line, so it's okay to add that in here. Tell people what you do and how you do it. Now, my Instagram bio has changed a little bit because my Instagram is developing into, I have more offerings on my Instagram. But when I was helping first-time homebuyers, and that was the sole purpose of my Instagram, my little tagline was walking you through the real estate process just like your bestie would. Because I wanted people to feel like their best friend was walking them through the transaction, and that was relatable to people and to my audience. Again, if you are a relocation expert or a new home specialist, include that. You want to infuse keywords that speak directly to your target audience. And then, last but certainly not least, what's in it for me? You need to link them somewhere. We don't own Instagram. Instagram has gone down several times. You need to get the leads off the app and into something that you can control. That can be a brokerage website. That can be a landing page. I don't really care where you send them. It just needs to go somewhere else. And there's a couple places I recommend. And just so you guys know, so you're not frantically trying to write down notes or remember what I said, I've got a resource guide at the end with all of my favorite tools linked so that you guys can go in and sign up for whatever best suits you. I do recommend that you get some sort of link software that allows you to put in multiple links that can drive people to a landing page or to a website, like Linktree, Milkshake, or I have StanStore. So once your profile is optimized, you have to back it up. We don't have time today to go through all of these, so we're really going to focus on creating bingeable content that drives them to raise their hand and say, yes, I want to work with you, and I want whatever you have to offer. But one quick note I want to make about stories, really just to jump off of even what Daniela was saying, is video is really important. And Instagram and Facebook stories are a really great place to show up and just be you. They disappear after 24 hours. That's where you don't have to be polished. You can be raw and real. But most importantly, it shows people the behind the scenes of what it's actually like to be a real estate agent. One of my favorite ways to put this is think about giving people HGTV in their pockets. It's very, very fun for them, and they also understand how much work we are doing behind the scenes. We're not just unlocking doors and cashing paychecks. All right. First things first, I need to disclose, I love our marketing department, and I love all brokerage marketing departments. They work really, really great, and they're very helpful. But if you're just posting brokerage, just listed, and just sold, you're not going to be converting content. You're not going to be converting leads, I should say. You need to infuse bingeable content that people can relate to. So, 3 pillars for easily creating content. I wanted to put this up here to give you guys some starting off ideas because I know when you start, it's really overwhelming and you're like, I don't know what to post. So our 3 pillars are inspire, educate, and entertain. You guys have probably heard these before. So for inspiration posts, you want to make your audience feel like they can do big things. This could be a past client closing story, wins, lessons. So instead of posting a just sold, I post a champagne pop in front of the house with my clients, or I'll do a selfie, or just a picture of them. And then I tell the story of the transaction because every transaction has a story. And let people experience what it's like to be a client of yours and understand the process and the little special things that each and every one of us do. Home renovation tips. One of my most viral reels I put together in 2 seconds, and it was because I saw an article about what renovations produce the highest ROIs. And I literally just regurgitated the information on a reel, and it went crazy. People certainly had all of their opinions about it. It didn't matter to me. It wasn't my data. But show people the home renovation tips or how to increase your value with XYZ. And then first-time homebuyer advice, or insert your niche here advice. Show people what it's like to buy in this market. This market's crazy. You're the expert. The next pillar is educate. What do you know that others need to know? It's a lot. I think real estate agents don't give themselves the credit they deserve. We know a lot of stuff. And I think a lot of people think they know a lot of stuff, but you need to be sharing. You need to show up as the expert. So this can be, how can buyers prepare or sellers profit? Share local and national market updates, but don't just post the MLS graphic. People don't know what DOM means. You need to actually show up and regurgitate it to your audience in a way that they understand. What does the process of working with you look like? I already mentioned everyone's got their own little quirks and ways that they do business, and that's what makes doing business with you fun. Share it. Share it behind the scenes and let people into your life and your business. And then entertain. This is probably what most of us see on TikTok and Reels. This is a way for your followers to escape reality. And this is what keeps people on these apps for 2 hours and 25 minutes a day. It's not the just listed and the just sold posts. So highlight features in a recent listing. Go behind the scenes of a listing prep. I can't tell you how many times I've recorded myself putting a sign in the yard and then just throwing some text over it about how to have a successful sale. And then my favorite is weekly home tour features. I've gotten off of this a little bit, but this is a really, really great way to get started. Home tour Tuesdays. Go pick a house, go pick a listing, doesn't have to be yours. Go find a beautiful one that your target clients would be looking for. Go tour it, and then post it on Tuesdays, same time every time. And if you're feeling really crazy, this is one of my favorite things that I've done so far. Team up with agents in other markets, build referral partners, and do a national home tour Tuesday once a month. You guys pick a price point, and then everyone goes and tours that price point, and then you get to bring your followers along for a ride of, hey, in Charlotte, this $500,000 house looks like this. In Colorado, it looks like this. In Florida, it looks like this. People love it. It's a really, really great way to build your referral network as well. All right, we've talked about the top 2 numbers, I think enough, but the bottom 3 are just as important. The average human attention span is 8.25 seconds. Now, Facebook saw that, and they were like, yeah, I don't think that that's true for computers and phones. So they did their own study. The average attention span on a computer is 2.5 seconds, and a phone, 1.7 seconds. So what does this mean for you? This means that not only do you have to hook somebody pretty quickly, you also have to deliver value very immediately before you've already lost their attention and they've moved on to something else. So how do we do this? I'm going to walk you guys through a flow that I do on every single one of my posts to instantly deliver value. Because who has time to sit there and wait for people to comment and deliver the freebie that you just promised them? None of us. We're driving, we're showing houses to clients, we're writing contracts. We don't have time for that. But this will do it for you. So, and again, I have this whole flow for you guys, and you guys are actually going to get to see how it works in real time. I'll give you the word at the end of this. So the first thing you have to do, you have to create a lead magnet. Now, before you guys all freak out and you're like, I'm tuning out because I don't even know how to do any of this, this can be very, very simple. This could be a quick 1 page about your favorite things to do in your city in the fall, in the summer, in the spring. All you have to do is go to your city's event site, see what events are coming, what concerts are coming, what festivals are coming, share your favorite patios. Just a quick little guide. This has been one of my most highly engaged things. I do a lot of agent coaching, so I have a content prompt vault that I will drive people to. And then finally, the third image is Let's Find Home. That's my buyer guide. When I do a buyer consultation, this is what they get. If somebody comments buyer on any of my posts, they're also going to get this. I've got a seller guide. You can send people to your website to set up a custom portal for them. Guess what that is? An MLS search, but people love custom portals. You can make this easy and fit it in your business. My guess is you guys have a lot of these things already made. It's just reprogramming your mind and marketing it out to your audience. Also, a lot of our brokerages have buyer and seller guides too. Next, you have to decide where to send them. Raise your hand if you use Flowdesk in here. Okay, cool. I love Flowdesk. It's certainly not a requirement for this flow. I love Flowdesk because it's very easy to use, they're very pretty, and they're received really well. They've got an email marketing platform, but they also have landing pages. So whenever I send people to get a freebie, I collect their information, they immediately get into an email flow, they get whatever they came for. Again, you can send people to a brokerage website. If you guys were here yesterday when Phil had his QR code up, yes, you put in your information, but he drove you right to a Google form or to Google Drive. That's a free platform that you guys can use to upload your freebie. You could send people to a Google form and still collect their information as well. Next, you're going to create your post. So you've got all of these things set up, and the great thing is you now have a library that you can go back and refer to. So as you keep creating these lead magnets, you can just drive them to whatever post, and you already have it set up. So the one on the left is an example of my fall guide. I bought a glass of wine from my friend, and I asked her to come take a video of me walking through Rosie's wine garden, if you guys are familiar. It's nothing special. It took 5 minutes. And I said, drop fall if you want a copy of this guide. Very highly engaged. In my other post, there's no such thing as the right time to buy or sell a house. Just a catchy hook. And it drove people, if buying a home is in your future, then comment buyer, and you'll get set up for a buyer strategy call, or you'll get my buyer guide. So you'll see here, this is what gets driven. This is the back end. So has anyone heard of mini chat? All right, we've got some mini chat fans. ManyChat is my favorite tool on this planet. ManyChat is a chatbot comment automation, which allows you to automatically respond to every message, comment, and reaction in real time and in your voice so that you don't lose that valuable engagement time. So again, on the back end, you're gonna see here, when anybody comments buyer on my post, they will immediately get a reply back that says thank you on the way to your DMs. And then they also get a message that says, hey friend, so excited to strategize with you. Click the link below to download your free buyer strategy guide. And then feel free to come back and schedule a strategy call with me. They click the top button, they get the guide, and then they do the bottom one, and they get to schedule a call with me. This makes it really, really simple. If you go comment buyer on any of my posts right now, you will receive this flow. And then last but not least, you're gonna collect your leads and follow up. You gave them what they came for. Now it's your job to continue the conversation. We know this when we get a lead, but this can be automated too. You can add them to a buyer or seller email flow. You can schedule a phone consultation. You can build out that ManyChat flow. That was the most basic form of ManyChat you can use. You can build that flow out for as long as you want to follow up with them as often as you want. You could add them to a monthly newsletter, or you could invite them to a private online community like a Facebook group. This is not supposed to be hard. I know I threw a lot of tools at you guys, but this is not supposed to be hard, and this will free up so much time for you guys while also putting you out there and casting you to a huge network with just one post at a time. So if you guys follow me at It's Caten Murphy on Instagram, and you go comment or DM me, build, you don't have to do it in all caps, and you don't have to put the quotations, you can if you want to. You will see this flow happen in real time, and you're gonna get my resource guide that shows you all of these tools, gives you discount codes, links, all of the above. And if you guys have any questions, you're following me on Instagram now, and you can certainly reach out, and I would love to strategize with you guys. Thank you so much.